And pretty much I'm living in constant fear that our relationship is in jeopardy. Do you agree that I do that, babe?
Yes.
She's like, yeah.
But it's not. It's not at all.
What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for watching and subscribing and following the Mental Man page. Dude, I've felt so freaking loved and supported by all of you guys. Thank you guys so much for being on this journey with me of learning. I submitted my freaking application for school. I'm super nervous. I don't find out till April 12th. So you guys are going to have to wait with me in expectation. But until then, I'm going to keep trying to kind of share things I'm learning along the journey of my mental health, anxiety, depression, all that good stuff. So thank you guys all for watching. This week is Valentine's Day, and I was thinking about, in my life, what have I been dealing with in the love category, because I'm actually in a new, not even new, it's I've been dating for 10 months almost, but with this amazing woman named Yasmin. She's great. We're 10 months in, and it's going well. So this is going to be our first Valentine's Day, and I'm a little nervous, but I was thinking about this week, when it comes to love and mental health, and I can only speak from experience. I'm not an expert by any means, but one thing I've been thinking about is when me and Yasmin first started dating. Before we started dating, I was very secure. I wasn't too needy with friends and women, but all of a sudden, I started dating Yasmin, and in my therapy sessions, I started talking to my therapist about me feeling really needy, and I didn't know why I felt so freaking needy. I wanted her attention, I wanted her to text me back really quickly, and I feel like women more so relate to this than the men, because the men are probably on the other end, but I'm a little bit different. And I was just talking to him about why I felt so anxious and needy in my relationship. I felt like I wanted attention, and if she didn't text me back, then I put meaning to it, and I'm there's something wrong with our relationship. So I did that a lot, and then he introduced me to something called attachment styles, and this has completely freaking changed my life. It's helped me understand myself and understand connection and people. So we're going to talk about attachment styles today, but before I do that, I want to invite my girlfriend to come on the show, on the podcast, or whatever this is. This is her thing. So please, Yasmin, please come in, step in. This is her good side right here. Hey babe, how you doing? Hi. How you doing, babe? You look good. You look great. All right. So, babe, when we started dating, I felt all of a sudden I started getting really needy. Do you feel like I was needy? And do you feel like I'm very needy in our relationship? It's okay if you say yes. It's all right.
At moments.
At moments. It's and I feel like I never was that needy. So my therapist talked to me about attachment styles. And so what it is, attachment style is a way that you connect with people and loving relationships around you. So there's 3 different attachment styles, and you get all these attachment styles from your parents, how you relate to your parents. So if you had a very secure attachment style, babe, then your parents would be very loving, very attached to you at a very young age. If you were very neglected as a child, then you're gonna have a very avoidant attachment style. And then the third one is a very anxious. So if you were treated wrong when you were little, and you're neglected, a little neglected, then you have an anxious attachment style. So there's 3 different attachment styles: secure attachment, avoidant attachment, and anxious. And so he told me this, and he told me that I had an anxious attachment style. And pretty much I'm living in constant fear that our relationship is in jeopardy. Do you agree that I do that, babe?
Yes.
She's like, yeah.
But it's not. It's not at all.
But it's not. But if we get into an argument or disagreement, or she's just at work and she can't text me back, I feel there's a danger thing that happens.
You did something wrong and I'm ignoring you.
She's ignoring me, or she's in a car accident, or something is wrong. And it's not just, I go to the worst thing. Instead of just going, she's at work, or she's not ignoring me, or she does love me, right? A lot of things, I always feel maybe she doesn't love me. And that's weird. But, so I'm anxious attachment, but what are you?
In this relationship, in our relationship, I'm secure.
So you have a secure attachment,
Super secure.
but you weren't always like that.
No.
Okay, so then I don't know if the attachment styles, because I haven't done enough research on it, but I don't know if the attachment styles change from relationship to relationship. But how about this, babe? I'm gonna read this. This is a book called Attached. It's a really good book. It's by two doctors, Amir Levine and Rachel Heller. I'll put the link in the description and all that good stuff. But it's called Attached, and it kind of breaks down the attachment styles. And so a lot of you guys are watching, and maybe you're a woman and you're like, you find yourself really needy, jealous. Do you feel like your girls are like girls you know like that?
I feel like all of us have gone through it as a girl. I know I used to be super needy, super clingy, and I think almost all my girlfriends have gone through that relationship where they're very, very needy. Yeah. And it's normal. Like, it's normal that we're like that. And it's normal that the guy is, like, not responding. Like, we want him to text back, and he just won't.
So, okay, and that's what I think where the problem comes, babe, is like, okay, so what I read in this book is that if you have a secure attachment and I have an anxious attachment, or no, actually worse, if you have an avoidant, if you avoid relationships, you're non-committal, all that good stuff, then, and I'm anxious, and all I want to do is cling to you, then that is that's the hardest one to be in.
To be avoidant.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what your girls have, is like that one is really needy and the other one's very avoidant.
Oh, like in the dynamic
of
the couple?
Yeah, the couple.
Oh, yeah. And the guy would be avoidant, yeah.
The guy's usually...
In most cases, the guy would be avoidant and the girl would be anxious.
Right. And I feel like secure and anxious is okay because your security helps me be more secure, and I slowly get there. And from what I read, it says it takes 3 to 4 years to change your attachment style, but that seems like it's hard.
Yeah, because you said it changed when you started dating.
Yeah. And it's weird. It's weird because you feel really independent, and you feel very I don't need anybody. You feel like you're self-sufficient, and then you get in a relationship, and all of a sudden you're dependent. You feel very dependent on the person.
Yeah. You feel like you depend on me?
I feel like early on it was I felt very I want to as long as we're good, then everything else is okay. But if we're not good, I can't function. And it's that's how I felt. And that's where my anxiety. This is how it came up in therapy. Is that's where my anxiety was coming from. If we were ever not even perfectly okay, I can't focus on I don't want to do anything else.
How do you feel now?
Now I've been working on it. Now that I've become aware of it, and I do a lot of work weekly and daily to retrain my brain. You can rewire your brain. It's scientifically proven. It's called neuroplasticity, and you can rewire your brain. And so slowly, I've been working through therapy, pretty much changing how your brain goes to the compulsion, because it's like a form of OCD, babe. It's I'm OCD. I check my texts all the time to see if you've texted me back. I actually don't do that as much anymore, though.
Tell them that little analogy.
Which one?
The one about the graph.
Oh, so what happens is with your brain chemistry is that when so this is my mild explanation of OCD, but what happens, how you build habits in your brain, just general neuroplasticity. If you do something over and over, what it does is it's like walking through a forest for the first time. Say you walk through a forest and you carve out this path. So the first time is very hard, but what happens the second time, babe, is that you kind of see where you walked before, and you kind of follow it again. And if you keep doing that over time, you create a path. And so what happens is your brain, if you create from point A to point B, you keep creating that connection. It gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and that's how you create habits. And so that anxiousness is whenever I feel something, whenever I feel we're not okay, I check my text, and it's like checking the doorknob. It's OCD, So, and I've actually been diagnosed with ROCD, which is it's a cognitive form of OCD, but I haven't really talked about that yet. But that's what happens. But the good thing is, babe, I feel like I'm better with that.
Yeah.
From 3-4 months ago.
For sure. I think so too. And I think what you were saying earlier, when you have someone who's secure and then someone who's anxious, the secure person really does help.
Right.
Because would you have made as much progress if I was just super avoidant?
Right. If you were avoidant, I would be in distress. And I feel like a lot of our friends or not even friends, people we know is just in distress. Because they're like, my boyfriend's avoidant, and you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. For sure. And you're never sure.
You're never,
It's not stable.
You give me security when I need it. Avoidant people don't. They still withhold.
Yes. But I will say in our relationship now, like I do work on being more secure with you.
Okay.
And you give me every reason to,
Right.
so it's much easier to work on it, for sure.
You know, I feel bad though, because sometimes I feel like when I tell you like, hey, I feel like something's wrong with us, or I say like, you don't love me or something. I used to say a lot like, I don't feel like you love me, right? Like, I feel like that hurts you kind of, because it's like the love I'm giving him.
Yeah, like it's not enough. I harbor that.
Right. So it does have an effect on you over time, because now it's like everything what she's giving is not enough. So I had to learn to like really work on it, because
and if you didn't, then I would become what? Mine would change.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? Because I would go.
Probably.
From
You probably feel like
you
might feel like there is something wrong with us.
Yeah.
Over time.
And then either maybe I'd become avoidant.
Yeah.
Or
you could be. Yeah, you could. You could probably change your attachment style or become closed off or hurt, whatever. But your attachment styles, what it says in the book, it says that if you are dating somebody or married to someone that has avoidant and you're anxious, you're gonna feel that they're playing off that anxiety all the time. So I recommend you read it. To be honest, it's a really good book. I'll put it in the link. But before we get out of here, I'm gonna read it off, babe, and then I'm gonna read off the different ones of avoidance. I'll read avoidant and then you can do secure. All right, avoidant. This is how you know if you're avoidant. Send mixed signals. You value your independence greatly. Devalues you or previous partners. Use distancing strategies, emotional or physical. Emphasizes boundaries in the relationship. Has an unrealistically romantic view of how a relationship should be. I feel like I know some people like that. Mistrustful fears of being taken advantage of by a partner. Has a rigid view of relationships and uncompromising rules. During a disagreement, needs to get away or explode. Doesn't make his or her intentions clear. And lastly, has difficulty talking about what's going on between you. You do during a disagreement, needs to get away. Oh my God.
But just for a little
I hate
bit.
that. I need to leave. I need to walk away.
I just need to breathe.
No, we
I
need to talk
need to,
about
like,
it now.
Chill for a minute.
Hey, we need to talk now. Let's figure this out now. I hate waiting.
But does it help? Does it help the situation?
No, it does. It really does.
It does.
But I want to deal with it now. Like, you walk away, I'm like, oh, I want to explode. And that's why.
Okay.
That was avoidant. Yeah. So we'll go back. And she's getting secure now.
Okay. Reliable and consistent. Makes decisions with you. Flexible view of relationships. Communicates relationship issues well. Can reach compromise during arguments. Not afraid of commitment or dependency.
All really healthy stuff.
Doesn't view relationship as hard work.
Damn.
Closeness creates further closeness. Introduces friends and family early on. We did.
So he's not we did
we
for
both
sure.
Did that.
Mm-hmm.
Naturally expresses feeling for you.
Yeah.
Don't play it. Doesn't play games.
They don't play no games. No, they just with it.
Yeah.
It sounds like all really healthy
I
connections.
definitely don't play games in this relationship.
You better not. You know what I'm saying? You better not. You don't play no games with me. All right. So I'll read anxious. This is all me. Wants a lot of closeness in the relationship. One of the things about anxious attachment is I love closeness. I like if we're distant and we're in the same room, I feel it. I feel the gap. I feel the space. So whenever she touches me, or like just lets me know it's everything.
It fills your heart.
Yes. Fills my heart. Expresses insecurities, worries about rejection. Unhappy when not in a relationship. See, I don't know about that. See, I don't know. Maybe I was, but I don't feel like I was straight. Plays games to keep your attention. I don't play no game. I do play games. If you mess with me, I'll pout and act like I'm mad or something just to get you. Yeah, I'll play games. Has difficulty explaining what's bothering him or her. I do expect you to guess a lot. That's not great. I act out. So there's something called protest behaviors, and protest behaviors is when it's like a kid throwing a tantrum. you're trying to get what you want without actually saying, here's what I need. So you just act out. I'm a little big. Has a hard time not making things about him or herself in a relationship. That's great. Lets you set the tone of the relationship. You don't set the tone, girl. Set the tone. Is preoccupied with the relationship. That's a big thing. Early on, I was like preoccupied, meaning everything came after our relationship. There was nothing that was like, I had to figure that out first, and then I could figure out life. That sucked. Yeah, sweet. Yeah. Fears that small acts will ruin the relationship. Believes he or she must work hard to keep your interest. I work hard, girl, to keep your interest. I stay, you know what I'm saying, man? You know what I'm saying? I stay hot. And suspicious that you may be unfaithful. That was early on. I did that a lot for no reason. I'm sorry. I don't know.
You think so?
I think not that you were unfaithful, but that you would cheat on. Like, oh my gosh, she can cheat. She never gave me a reason to. I was just like, being anxiously attached. But no, thank you, babe, for coming on. So if you guys are wondering more about attachment styles, this is like a general overview. I'm not an expert, but this is something that's helped me and us in our relationship. Happy Valentine's Day. And if you want to check it out, I'll put the link in the bio and a couple of other resources that I read on this. But Google it. There's a bunch of cool YouTube videos out there. I'll link some of those too. But I hope this helps. I hope this helps you in your relationship. And please, thank you for watching. Subscribe to everything, like YouTube. Follow us, Instagram, and all that.
Yeah, and let him know if you want to go deeper into different attachments.
If you guys want to know more about attachment styles, maybe we could do like series, like go deeper into each of them. We could do that. I like that. You're smart, babe.
And we can bring up stories.
Be smart. Yeah, we can talk. We can bring some stories. But thank you guys so much. Thank you for following me on this journey, following us on this journey. And till next time.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Bye.